Testing. 1, 2, 3. What's up, Scoop Podcast? I'm your host, Erica Krupin. On today's episode, I want to talk about the great laundry liberation that I went through a couple years ago. Or shall I call it the slow quitting, quiet quitting of doing my husband's laundry. So if this offends you, if you are offended that little old me does not do my husband's laundry anymore, go ahead. You could skip this one. This one may not be for you. But if you're curious of why I stopped doing his laundry and the kids' laundry, oh no, I'm terrible. I'm an evil stepmom because I don't do my kids' laundry. That's okay. But if you're interested in hearing my side of the story, stay tuned. You know what, you guys? You know what's funny? So I wrote an entire script for this, word by word by word. I don't know. Why do I do that type of stuff? I know that I'm not going to read this because I can't sit here and read it. Welcome to the Scoop Podcast. On today's episode, blah, 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 blah. No, that's not what, I can't do that. Remind me not to do that. Remind me that I need to just have bullet points because that's how my brain works. And I'm thinking that maybe I'll keep this for the day that I end up writing a book because, come on. Why not? Why not? I should write a book, right? Nobody asked for it. But I feel like it's the cool thing to do. That's what all the cool kids are doing these days. I had to take a sip of water there. It's just pure aqua spring water from Aldi's. That's it. Nothing special, nothing fancy. And there's a good chance that I just opened that fresh. A lot of times I just refill my water bottles straight up out of the tap. I'm not high maintenance here when it comes to my water. I really don't care. I grew up on Inkster water, and I am fairly confident that pH in that water is gnarly. And I enjoy it. I like it. When I go back to my parents' house, I will often just get a glass of water straight from the tap. Is it good for me? Probably not. Do I enjoy it? Yes, I do. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on a second. You want to hear what I wrote? What I wrote down on this freaking piece of paper, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to hop into it. Hold on a second. Let me regroup. Picture this. A whirlwind of entrepreneur ambition, juggling my small business, chasing my dreams, and balancing life as a wife, stepmom, and dog mom. And literally, no verbal boundaries or verbal agreements have been put in place. Not once did my husband and I sit down and talk about our roles within the house. We just assumed a traditional-ish type of home. But I was working and increasingly getting angrier, feeling like Cinderella before the ball and the glass slipper. The basement floor is covered in laundry, clean and dirty. My anxiety is through the roof, and I can hear my husband laughing and having a good time. What do you mean he is laughing and enjoying life after work? There is more work that needs to be done, and it's all up to me. At least that's how I felt. Was that dramatic? But basically that's how it was, right? So we got married, we got together. We didn't have any conversations. We got together in our mid-20s. He has already previously been married. I have not, right? I came out of a relationship where my ex-boyfriend, he did everything because I just wasn't a very good woman. I can't even say that I was a woman at that time. I was a child I was in a woman's body, essentially. My brain just wasn't quite there yet. Yes, I had a full-time job. Yes, I had an apartment. I was doing all the things. My finances were in order. My house was messy. My apartment was messy. I remember my ex had surgery, and his mom came over to help him out and help us out. Every single dish that we owned was dirty on the counter. And she walked into that apartment. I'm sure it smelled terrible because we had 2 cats at the time too. She looked around and she just rolled up her sleeves and started doing the dishes. And I was mortified. I was mortified after that. And that is when I decided that I needed to start being cleaner, right? I needed to start taking pride in the things that I have. I need to take ownership. I just needed to be better all the way around. Now, it's not like it was boom, pow, all of a sudden I was fixed. That's not it. That's not the case. Um, since then, my ex and we went our separate ways, and he did his thing, I did my thing. And then my husband now, Josh, him and I got together very shortly after me and my ex split. Now, listen, there was nothing going on before, I promise. Josh and I have known each other for a very, very long time. It just so happened that my aunt that was working at the hospital that I worked at ran into him, and by fate, she's like, "Hey, I ran into Josh Krupin." I said, "Josh Krupin? What?" She's like, "Yeah, he asked about you." "About me?" "He asked about me." I have had a crush on Josh Krupin since I was like 7, 5, I don't know. A very, very long time. He was just cute as a button. Thought he was adorable. So when he asked about me, I was geeked up, freshly single, ready to mingle, if you know what I'm saying. I had been in a relationship for like almost 5 years, so I was like ready to get out into the dating scene. So him and I went on a couple dates. We chit-chatted, but we never had any deep conversations about expectations, what we want, because I didn't know what I wanted. I was just going off how I felt, and he made me feel really good, and I made him feel good. Take that how you want. Um, so he has 3 kids at this time, so he's got 3 young children, and I just hopped right in. I don't know, something just kind of came over me. I wanted to help him. I could tell he was a good dad. But this man never hid the fact that he was struggling with household chores. Yes, he did have somebody clean his house before I came over, so I do feel like I was a little bit catfished with that. But as time went on, I seen his messy kitchen. I seen his messy bedroom. I seen the mounds and mounds of mountains of laundry. I seen all that. And I had like rose-colored glasses on. I'm like, okay. Like I can do this stuff, and I did. I tried. I hopped in. I started doing laundry, and I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I remember talking to my mom about it, and she's like, yeah, that's just what you do. I did laundry like that all the time, and I used to watch the soap operas and fold your socks and all of that stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do as a woman. Traditional values. Take care of your man, make dinner, clean the house, do all of the things. But then I'm like, like I work. I work, and I'm still supposed to take care of all of this stuff. Like, why? Why? I don't want to do this. And here's the thing. Josh makes enough cashola, moolah, for me to stay home. Like, if I wanted to be a stay-at-home dog mom, scratch that. Let's back up. Josh makes enough to have a woman stay at home. I would beg to differ. Josh does not make enough to have me stay at home because I'm expensive. It's a gift. I get it from my dad. I'm an expensive woman. When I see something I like, I always like the most expensive thing, even when I don't see the price tag. I just got that eye. And it's just something that has carried with me my entire life. So I'm expensive, so I work. I make the monies because I need to, right? Because there's things that I like and there's things that I want to do. So he works, I work. And I'm drowning, right? Our house is a mess. There was one Christmas where I started having the family Christmas parties at my house for my entire family on my dad's side. The family I grew up with, because my grandma passed away and I had a big enough house to support everybody, to house everybody. We had so much laundry in the basement that we weren't able to do, essentially me. I wasn't able to do it. We brought it all up into my bedroom, this area that I'm recording in. And when I tell you, we had more than 15 tall baskets of laundry. Like, you couldn't even walk in through the door to get to my husband's closet, if you're watching on YouTube, the over here. The door is over here. and the closet's over there. He couldn't even get to it. That's how bad it was. I was like, this can't happen anymore. Like, we can't do this. This is absurd. So we really did. We really did try to keep up on the laundry, but it didn't end up working out. And then we wanted to start taking more pride in the things that we had, because we were starting to clean the house up. We were starting to do remodeling and renovations on the house. We ripped up our carpet and saw that there was hardwood floors. And I don't know about you, but something about hardwood floors just makes me want to be a little bit classier and a little bit cleaner. It's an elevation, and that's something that I noticed too. If I clean the whole kitchen, clean everything, and if I start leaving stuff out, the people in my house, the family, they follow suit. They're like, oh, well, she left something out, and vice versa. If somebody leaves something out, then I leave something out, and then all of a sudden, instead of there being one pair of shoes piled up in the corner, now we have 8. We have 8 pile of shoes because we follow each other's lead. With the leveling up, I just needed to start making some decisions on what I wanted to do. At this point, I now have my business. My business is growing. I'm doing my social media stuff. I'm in the thick of it with my business, growing it, because I'm still under 5 years. There's a lot of time. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot that goes into it. And in the beginning, I was still working at the hospital. I'm trying to balance being like a stay-at-home housewife, stepmom. I don't know what it was. All I know is it wasn't working. And so I just decided that I wasn't going to do my husband's laundry anymore in my brain. But did I have the conversation? No, I didn't. I didn't. All I know is I was having outbursts. I was being mean. I had attitude. I just wasn't like very pleasant to be around. It doesn't have to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't. If I would have just had the difficult conversation and been like, listen, I can't do your laundry anymore, I'm sure he'd have been like, why not? Because he does. He wants his laundry taken care of. He's a blue collar worker, right? What blue collar worker doesn't want to go to work, come home, and have their lunch packed for them, have their dinner provided for them, have clean laundry when they come home, have clean towels when they want to get in the shower, and then have clean clothes when they get ready for work? What blue collar man doesn't want that, right? I can't paint a fantasy in my brain that's like, he shouldn't want that. I'm a blue collar worker and I want that. If I could get a housewife or another mother or whatever the heck they're called, I would hire one. That's a goal of mine. I want to make enough money to where, or we make enough money, whatever, that I have somebody come to my house twice a week to pick up, drop off laundry twice a week. That's literally a goal of mine, because this is how much I hate laundry. And I'm going to talk about how much I hate laundry through this entire process. And I understand it's a necessity. It's a necessity for me. I do my own laundry. So instead of having a civilized conversation, I did a slow resignation where I just stopped doing it. A little by little, I would do it. I would skip a week. And then I'd feel bad, right? Because there was a couple times where he was wearing dirty clothes. He was wearing dirty clothes because his laundry wasn't done. And he was like increasingly frustrated. And I knew he was frustrated with me, because it's like, not that he said it, but I felt it. Like, why am I having to go to work and wear dirty clothes? And the woman part of me was like, Erica, you're terrible. Your man works so hard. There's no reason why he should have dirty clothes. And then the other part of me says, the reason why he has dirty clothes is because when he came home from work, he chose to either A, take a nap, B, hang out in his garage and have fun, and instead of doing his laundry. And so that is how I justified it. And I'm fairly confident there was some type of outburst on my end that resulted in me saying, I'm not doing your damn laundry anymore. I'm done. I'm not doing your laundry. I'm not doing the kids' laundry. You guys are teenagers. At this point, the kids are all like 13 and above. Everybody is so capable of doing their own laundry. And some of you listening might be like, yeah, everybody's fully capable of doing their laundry. But that was just the dynamic that was going on in the house. And especially because I do know that my sister-in-laws, my brothers, my husband's brothers' wives, they're stay-at-home moms. They're wonderful homemakers. You can literally go to their house at any given time, from my experience, and it's clean. It smells good. It looks good. There's even the vacuum marks in the carpet. You know what I'm saying? I could never. I could never. I'm just not built that way. And so once again, I should have had a conversation with him. I felt like he was comparing me to his brother's wives. And to me, they look perfect. You know, they're both very beautiful and they both have clean houses and they pack their husband's lunch and their laundry is done and their house smells good and they have good kids and everything just seems so perfect over there. But obviously, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But in my brain, this is the story I was telling myself, especially because even his mom, Josh's mom, she worked, she did the laundry for all the boys. Her husband, my father-in-law, always has the crispiest white shirts at work, the cleanest shirts, and then here's my husband over here. He's wearing 2-day-old work pants, maybe 3-day-old work pants, and it's my fault. It's my fault. Josh never told me it was my fault, but I internalized that. And these were the thoughts that were going on in my brain. And I literally was having this internal war about laundry. And then finally I worked through that. And it doesn't bother me anymore. I feel as if I'm thriving because I really am focusing on my own schedule, doing my own laundry. Like, I can't even keep up on my own laundry. Like, how am I supposed to keep up on all these other people's laundry? I felt like I was drowning. So just doing mine is more manageable. I will say it's still a point of contention here at the house. Josh does want me to still do his laundry, and I'm just choosing not. I'm choosing not to. And here's the other conflict, right? You hear people say, "Oh, you better make sure that your man is, excuse my French here, effed and fed because there's a hoe out there with a sandwich." I'm sorry, I just have more value than that. I enjoy cooking. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather cook every single meal and clean the kitchen from top to bottom than ever touch laundry ever again. That's just a personal boundary I put in place. And so I had to quit putting value on myself of, oh, the only reason why he's going to want to be with you or find value in you is because you can cook for him and you can clean for him. All that stuff can be hired out. I have a lot of value. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with stay-at-home moms because we're not in the same, we can't even be compared because a stay-at-home mom, you guys are an entire special breed. I really truly think that being a stay-at-home parent or a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, whatever, probably has to be one of the hardest, I guess, positions out there because I can't even comprehend it. I can't organize my thoughts enough. The thought of waking up every single day and taking care of the house and making sure that it's taken care of, and then somebody coming home and just destroying it and then having to do it over and over and over again. It makes me so angry thinking about it. And maybe because I have made it so bad in my brain that I've completely turned myself off from it. And it might be different. Maybe if I were to have biological children and I were to have a baby and I'd want to be at home with my baby, it would be a totally different story. We got teenage boys. They're older. They want to hang out with their girlfriends. They want nothing. They literally want nothing to do with us. So maybe it's a completely different story. That's why I say, like, stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home parents, I can't relate. I don't know what it's like, but I know just from the little bit of experience that I have had with that, it's hard and I can't do it. I can't do it. And I'm not sure if the guilt is ever going to go away or the embarrassment. This past Mother's Day, I was having a conversation with my mom and my mother-in-law, and it was a really good conversation. And we just got to talking about life, laundry, lessons, that kind of stuff. And I just, the topic came up about Mike, my father-in-law, and about how crispy his shirts are, how she always really took care of that. And I was like, the laundry is just like, it's really stressful. There's just so much of it. The basement's a mess right now, blah, blah, all the things. And she says, don't worry, Erica. It's only a couple more years. The kids will be graduated. I didn't have to, but I decided to look my mother-in-law in the eyes and tell her that I don't do her son's laundry and I don't do the kids' laundry anymore. I only do my laundry. And when I tell you, I felt teeny tiny. I felt less than. I felt like a subpar partner. That doesn't even begin to express like how I felt at that moment. And it didn't matter the fact that I've built an entire business, a 6-figure business out of scooping dog poop. It doesn't matter at that moment. It didn't matter of all the people I've helped start their poop scooping business and the people that I've met that have told me about their stories and how I've impacted those people. None of that mattered at that moment, because at that moment, the fact that I didn't do the laundry at the house, I felt like trash and I felt like garbage and I felt like I was less than. But this is where my therapy has come into play and the boundary setting has come into play, where I have been working on setting boundaries personally, professionally, with people that I love, people that just drive me insane. I've had to do that. And setting boundaries is extremely difficult and it's extremely uncomfortable, right? When you set boundaries for yourself, it's inevitably going to make the other person upset because you're stopping them or their actions or whatever it is. You're stopping it from crossing the line that you have drawn. And with me setting the laundry boundary that no, I'm not doing anybody else's laundry, I'm just focusing on myself. That caused issues in the house because now the kids are struggling to do the laundry. Josh is struggling to do his laundry. But this is the thing. This is things that the boys need to learn how to do, right? Because they're eventually going to grow up. They're going to move out of the house and they're going to need to do their own laundry. Or, so hopefully when they get into a relationship with somebody and they know how to do their laundry, because they're either going to find somebody that loves to do laundry or they're going to find somebody that hates to do laundry. Who knows out there, right? Or maybe they don't find anybody and they just have to do their laundry for the rest of their lives. And I feel like me not doing it for them is helping set them up for success. Some core responsibilities for when they do move out and they are wanting to be men and wanting to be, self-sufficient and be able to handle their own responsibilities. So for you that's listening, I'm curious about your laundry situation. Is it not a big deal to you? Do you love doing laundry? I can do laundry all day. I don't care. It don't bother me. That's how I feel about cooking. That's my love language. I love to cook, right? I especially love to cook for my family. I love it when Josh sits down and he has food in front of him and he's eating it and he's like, oh, this is so good. And he's really enjoying it. And then the kids are like, oh, you should make this again. That makes me happy. That brings me joy. And sometimes you just have to reflect and figure out what brings you joy, what doesn't, and what is taking away your joy. And that's the stuff that you need to work on. Whatever's taking away from your happiness. And I was thinking to myself, is this selfish? Is it selfish that I'm not doing the laundry? And some people might say, yes, absolutely. You are 110% being selfish. But I don't think so. I don't think that prioritizing my self-care, I don't think that prioritizing my mental health, my self-care, setting the boundary is necessarily selfish, because I was never going to change my attitude about this laundry. It wasn't going to happen. I've been with Josh for 12 years and I couldn't. I couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it anymore. And so by me making the decision and having to sit with those emotions, having to eventually have the conversations and then keep having the conversation over and over again about the boundary and remind myself that By you not doing this laundry, you're able to focus on some of the other things that you need to focus on, because you as a human being, Erica, need time to yourself, and you need to be able to focus on the things that make you happy. You do stuff around the house, you cook, you do clean. For the most part, the house, looks pretty decent. When stuff needs to get fixed, I either outsource it or me and my husband take care of it. So it is taken care of. And this carries over to other things in life when you set the boundaries. If it's with food, if it's with drugs, alcohol, whatever, your health, fitness. I've developed a lot of boundaries. I recently had a boundary that I didn't want to eat cookies anymore, because cookies, believe it or not, have a serious grip on me. Oh, goodness gracious. A chewy chocolate chip, especially one from Crumble Cookie, it just has like a chokehold on me, and my heart will pound out of my chest, and it was almost like an obsession. It was like an addiction. And finally I just said, I can't do it no more. I won't. I would always say I can't do it, but I finally made the decision. I choose not to anymore. And that was very powerful for me, just to switch my verbiage and say, I choose not to do this. Now, I know not everybody has the luxury, especially people that are like a single parent, and it just relies on you. Everybody's circumstance is different. So you have to look at your own circumstance and see what you're able to outsource and what you're not able to outsource. And then that kind of goes with your business too. When you're running your business and you're trying to do everything by yourself, and it's not working out. It's not working out. It's too much. You have to figure out what you can outsource, what you're not going to do, what you don't enjoy to do, and then be able to delegate that stuff out. And I'm telling you, I feel like I'm a much better businesswoman than I am with my household, because my business runs way smoother than my house does. And being a business owner has taught me so much about the house and about how I am as a person. And that's crazy. It is crazy when people are like, oh, what do you enjoy about the business? I enjoy the money. I enjoy helping people, but I enjoy the growth that it's allowing me to have. And it's opening my eyes to wanting to learn more. And recently I hired a business coach, like a business professional development coach, because I needed help. I needed help with that. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I did. And saying no to that one thing, the laundry is a big deal, right? But saying no to that one thing freed me up. It gave me more time to say yes to other things. It freed me up of some emotional animosity that I had, because believe it or not, I'll be very truthful. When I was down there, which I said earlier, when I was doing the laundry or doing other things, and I would hear my husband laugh and kiki, living his best life, because he's a carefree fella. He's easygoing, low stress. He's chill, right? Takes care of his work responsibilities, and he's just like he don't give me a hard time, like he's a good husband. But I used to get so mad at him when I was doing the laundry and he's just chillaxing. Now when I hear him kiki, living his best life, I'm like, well, if you got to wear the same underwear twice in a row, not that that's ever happened, but if you got to do it, that's on you. That's on you now, because that's a decision you made, because you chose not to do your laundry. And at this point, it's off my hands. It's off my plate. It is no longer my responsibility. It is no longer part of my mental load. And as women, we carry a lot of the mental load at home, typically. I'm not saying it's like that all the time, but the way that our brains are wired, it's unfair. It is screwed up of how many thoughts that race through my brain. And of course, I feel like every woman's like me, right? Racing thoughts, always thinking about something. It's probably not. I'm probably just a minority. But I'm hoping that somebody listening to this can relate, and you're like, oh my God, my brain's all over the place all the time. I'm continuously thinking about things, and I just want to slow down. I just want to relax. And if you have small kids, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. You can't do that. Because little kids, you can't relax. But when they get older, You know, you got to start when they're younger, teach them how to do the little things, teach them how to do their laundry. Cuz our oldest, he's really good. He actually does his own laundry. Me and him are the best. We keep up on our laundry the best. I mean, we deserve gold stars pretty much. Okay? And like I said earlier, a goal of mine literally is to pay somebody to do the laundry for us. And I did a little bit of research. So here in Michigan, to hire a professional laundry service, it ranges from $1.50 to $3.50 per pound of laundry, depending on the specific service provider. And I'm actually really curious. I want you to think, like, what's your perfect laundry situation? So if you are the type that loves to do laundry, right? You're just like, I love to starch, I love to iron, I like everything hung up, I like all the things. Like, what is your ideal laundry room look like? Like, do you have lots of hanging space where you can hang things up? You have like an ironing space, then you have all the bins where it has all the laundry in it, and your washer and dryer are continuously running and everything is clean, nothing's laying on the floor. It looks so good. Oh gosh, that would be beautiful. Maybe I would want to do more laundry if I had something that looked like that, but I can almost guarantee that I wouldn't. Seriously, I got rid of a huge amount of my clothes solely because I didn't want to do laundry anymore. I have, I don't know, 12 to 15 shirts. That's not including work shirts. So double that for work shirts. And then I have maybe 4 or 5 pairs of pants and then 3 pairs of shorts. That's it. And my color ranges, I wear green, I wear black, I wear blue, and then I wear the hot pink and black or hot pink and gray for the business. And that has worked out really well for me. I find a shirt, I buy it in every color that I want to wear. And then I usually just buy 2 black, 2 blue, 2 green. And that's it. Is my wardrobe fancy? Am I a glamour model? Am I going to be on the cover of Vogue magazine? No, I'm not. But at least I'm not going to be on the cover of Mental Breakdown, losing my shit, ending up on Channel 7 News story cover, because that's literally where I felt like I was going. So that's it. I hoped, I don't know. I do hope that this brought you some type of value. I just wanted to let you know what was going on with my laundry situation and what my thought process was to stop it, right? Because I was getting miserable and I was getting increasingly more angry. And this can happen with like different situations in your life. And I apply the things that I learned, like having the conversation ahead of time with my partner probably would have been a way better idea, instead of just getting like more resentful and then having a outrageous outburst for like no reason, because he doesn't know. He didn't know I was mad about it until I was like, ah, you know? And there was even times, you guys don't tell anybody this. Do not tell Josh. There was a laundry basket in our bedroom for like 6 months. Nothing had been put into it, and nothing had been taken out of it for 6 months. You want to know what I did? I grabbed a trash bag. I couldn't take it. I threw the whole entire laundry basket away. I put the whole basket in a trash bag and took it out and threw it away. And you might be like, well, why didn't you just go through it to see what was in it? Couple reasons. 1, nobody's touched it in 6 months. 2, I didn't want to go through it and be like, oh, well, what's in here that I can take out? And you might be like, well, why would you throw away an entire laundry basket? That's how fed up I was. That I threw away the entire laundry basket. And sometimes you just get to that point where you're just that fed up, but you need to figure out how to take a deep breath and figure out how to make the change. And hopefully before you get that fed up to where you're literally going to throw away a perfectly good laundry basket, because you know how expensive those are? They're so expensive. Like, it was so unnecessary. It really was. And I mean, I think that it's okay to rewrite the rules. We're in 2023, and yes, traditional values still apply. For the folks that want those traditional values, that's totally fine. If that's what works for you, God bless you. But if you're like me, that you're like kind of traditionalist, but like you don't want to have to like do all the house chores, and you understand how to leverage your time, you understand how there's a better way to do things, and you're not stuck. You don't have to be, right? You might be stuck for a moment, but you can figure out a way to make things better for you, and you're similar to me. You can rewrite the story, and it can be rewritten to benefit you a little bit more, because you listening and you watching, you deserve to be happy. You deserve to be thriving. You deserve to be achieving your goals, and you deserve to not have animosity in your heart and in your soul, because that low vibe shit will just weigh you down. It really is. And if you are going to have a conversation with your spouse, your partner, whatever you call them, or even yourself, maybe you just need to have a conversation with yourself or with your kids. Be respectful of them, right? And their wants and their needs. And it's okay to negotiate. Use your negotiation skills. Use your salesman skills, right? I know you got some charm, right? We know how to hustle. If you can sell dog poop, if you can push dog poop, you got some spark and you got some pizzazz in you. So I really do think that you're able to, whatever the situation is, if it's laundry like me, you're able to kind of like weasel your way out of it a little bit and be happy. So if you want to either write a review or over on my Instagram on one of my posts, share a story about your laundry situation, something that's positive or something that's negative. I don't know. We can just like start a conversation about it. And I would love to hear about like what your ideal laundry situation is. And if you're like me and you just don't want to do it, you just want to hire it out somehow, some way, make enough money to make that happen, please drop that down in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, definitely drop it down in the comments. If you're listening on the podcast, you can go over to YouTube. For some reason, the podcast, you can't like write under episodes. You can't do comments, which that's wild. That's wild to me. I hate that. I've been thinking about doing a Patreon, like extra content, exclusive content, nothing like that. Just maybe like a deeper dive into stuff, extended video scenes. So if you guys are interested in about that, and you're like, yeah, I'd love to be part of a Patreon, let me know. I'm entertaining the idea of it, since I don't have to do all of that extra laundry. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys for listening. I drop a new episode every Monday on the podcast. And I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support, for the freaking support that you've been giving me over the past, I don't know, is it 31, 32 episodes? So that means it's 31, 32 weeks. That's crazy. And if I had to do all that laundry, I probably wouldn't be able to do these podcasts. So big round of applause for my supportive husband, because he does want me to thrive on the internet. So maybe he has some dirty pants. I'm not a bad wife. So if you try to say that I'm a bad wife at me in the comments, I'm going to block you. And until next time, bye.